We're here aboard our newest tool truck, and by newest, I mean the one that we picked up most recently. We got this truck a few weeks ago and are preparing it for the road. It makes it the third truck in our tiny little fleet, which also makes us now the largest independent mobile tool company in the Austin, Texas area. So I got some exciting news for you coming up, and we'll also have some fun on the truck. Stick around. We're going to start off with the great news. We just hired our third route operator. A fellow named Tim Dowd just signed on board with us, and he has a lot of experience having done a gig similar to this before, and he worked for some of our competition. He was looking for a job recently, so he came on board with us, and I can't wait to get him on the road in a few weeks. Once his kids go back to school and he figures out what the new school schedule is with the pandemic, then he'll be operating our third truck. Actually, more accurately, he'll be operating my old truck, and I'm going to be taking this truck as the new one because my truck is fully stocked. So I want to start him out with as much inventory as I can, and I'll have to build the inventory up on this new one from scratch. I have some inventory already, but it's going to take a while to get this one at 100%. So I'm going to be relying on my existing customer base to understand that. I've been explaining this to them for a while now, so folks are pretty well informed what the plan is here. So when I start coming around in a new truck with a lot fewer tools on it, they'll understand why. In the meantime, we'll get Tim up and running in his truck, stocked full, so that he can make the best first impression he can with his customer base as he establishes that. So he's going to be operating all around the Austin area. He is probably going to be going up into Lake Travis, Bee Cave, maybe even down to San Antonio, San Marcos, New Braunfels, and perhaps even out to Bastrop. We've had customers who have moved around who have asked if we could service them in areas that are pretty far removed from our initial center of operations in Austin. So it'll be really fun to see how we can make this work and expand our reach so that we might be able to cover everything between, who knows, maybe Killeen, all the way down to San Antonio, out to Bastrop, you know, out through Dripping Springs and Henley even. So who knows? It'll be fun to put that together with Tim. I'm going to be relying on him a lot and his knowledge of these areas as we go and put together his route, do some cold calling and some prospecting, and see who wants us to come around. So far, my experience here over the last few years is when you drive a tool truck and you cold call in a shop, it's the best cold calling you can possibly do. You pull into a shop and you see a lot of smiling faces, especially when they know you're an independent guy, and they can't wait to see what it is that we carry. They love the pricing, and when we start to tell them what our service levels are and the things that we can help them out with, and it really, it's a good comparison with the other tool trucks, because the franchise brands are prohibited by their agreements from doing the same things that we can do. So we have a distinct competitive advantage in how we handle after-sales service, warranty, repair, and support for tools and other brands as well. So it's instant business for us, and as long as we're hiring nice, good, kind people who are easy to work with, this is the easiest gig going, and it's very, very simple to build a strong and loyal customer base. And we've had a very good fortune of finding Tyler back in April, and when he came on board, he's got the exactly perfect personality for this. As I've talked with his customers, they give me nothing but but great things to say about how professional he is, how good he is to work with. And I love hearing that kind of thing, and I have every confidence that Tim, who's got a very good outgoing personality, he's a lot of fun, loves to laugh, smart guy, has a ton of experience in this business. I have no doubt that he's going to really knock it out of the park from day one. So really looking forward, Tim, to having you start and doing some prospecting with you. And we'll train him up on my truck with me for a couple of weeks, and then I'll be on his truck for a few weeks as we get him up and running. So really looking forward to that. So what we're going to do today on this truck is we're going to clean it up, because it's got some stuff that's left over from the original, for the guy I bought it from, rather. And then I have some new inventory that we're going to start putting on the truck. And the cool thing about building an inventory from scratch is it gives you a chance to start out right, where you've got the benefit of all your hindsight from the things that sell well and don't sell well, and it gives you the chance to stock it from day one only with things that sell well. Or if you want to bring on some new products or some stuff that you don't know if it's going to sell, we've got the room to do that, because we're not pumping a bunch of money into unknown quantities, or rather unknown tools where we don't know how well they perform or how well they sell. So this gives us a chance to start out with all the basics and hot selling items, and then we can grow the inventory from there. So let's go through the truck. We'll start to clean it up a little bit, and then we'll put the new stuff on. We're just going to go shelf to shelf here and see if there's anything we need to take off the shelves and pitch. Those shelves are clean. This toolbox cutout is clean. That's a diamond plate ramp that's used to span the threshold in the back door, and also help you get a toolbox up onto the lift gate, so that stays there. These shelves are clear. That shelf is clear. This shelf is not clear. It's got this little guy on it, little tiny Matco toolbox. It's a cute little novelty item, good for storage of something. We'll keep this, although I don't know exactly where yet. Put that up there. And we'll come back to you, little fella. This stuff can go. This is just trash. That's for the deadbolt. We're gonna keep this because the deadbolts on these trucks, they break from time to time. They're not the heaviest duty things in the world. So we'll keep it as spare parts. We always have a spare lock in storage ready to go, because this piece here is that piece there. That generally doesn't break. Usually it's the mechanism in the lock itself that breaks, but we'll hang on to it. We got a hard hat for some reason. We don't need a hard hat. We have hard hats already, but we don't really ever need them in this business. Oh, copy paper. We'll keep that. Gorilla Glue. Oh, look. An official Matco camping chair. A folding chair. What's this? It's a box with something in it. It's got I don't know. Toolbox cover, maybe? Plastic container. These actually, we used them. I've got two nice new clean ones. We keep that as a candy jar. Put Tootsie Rolls and lollipops and stuff in there. Just as freebie little giveaway items. Guys love those. We got a whole roll of bubble wrap for some reason. We're gonna hang on to that. This looks like it's a bolt-on tool tray for a cart or a box. You know, these are the kind. Someone's gonna find this handy, so we're gonna keep that. This looks like a replacement cord for a circuit tester. That's looks like a snake skin, but it's really a long, thin plastic bag. We're not going to keep that. That is a 4-inch block made out of some composite material. I have no idea why that's here. It's probably used for a demo of something or a hard surface to push stuff on. Looks like they use it as like a hammering block or something. But I don't think I would ever need that. I've never needed one before. A stubby air ratchet, 3/8 drive. I wonder if it works. We'll test that. An Infinium 1/4" cordless impact. I have no idea if that works. What we'll do is we'll leave that on the truck. If somebody wants it, they're welcome to test it out and see if it works. And if they want to buy it, they're welcome to. This is the controller for the lift gate. We need that. That's important. This will live in a drawer. But I should probably not put that in there yet because I got to clean out these drawers. Okay. This guy is a what? An AC and USB power strip. Probably for a tool cart. I'm gonna guess it's a bolt-on piece. We will keep that. That is a calculator. What? Look at that. Man, what year is this? Button up your spats, folks. We're going to use our LCD digital calculator. I don't know why this is here, but this is a ball joint press. Some snap-on. These are the older style too. Look at that, the old script writing. 6-point ratcheting wrenches. Those actually might have some resale value. This might have either resale value or I can do a warranty swap with that guy. This has some forcing screws in it. A bunch of forcing screws in it. This is, these are so handy. These are just shower curtain hooks, but we use them in the tool trucks to loop them over the bungee cord in these bungee boards on the ceiling, and we hang stuff from them. So we're gonna keep those. Fix product, general merchandise, cancer awareness magnet. There's some supplies and stuff that look like those drawers out. So I might just empty that out. Brother P-Touch label maker. Well, that's pretty much the quick once around to see what's in here. So, oh, wait a minute. Here's a blast from the past. When was the last time you needed incandescent flashlight bulbs? And these mini-mag xenon bulbs. Ooh, we are going back in the time machine here, kids. All right, let's start cleaning. Get out. That works. Oh, safety glasses. Certificate? No. Don't need it. Well, it's clean enough for the next phase. Let's load up some tools. Now that we have the first flurry of tools on the truck, we have to start merchandising, which means selecting which shelves the stuff goes on and how we're going to display it. And there's a few rules of thumb that you want to follow when you choose how to merchandise stuff. So if you own or operate your own tool truck, I'll give you some tips and tricks that I picked up. And do me a favor, also leave some advice in the comments as to what you've learned too, so we can all learn from each other. But here's the thing to keep in mind in any kind of display space at all. Some of these shelves are going to be your premium spaces, and some less so. And the ones that are going to be your premium space are the ones that are eye level, like this one right here. Especially because, and I'll back up a little bit, as you come onto the truck, this is going to be your point of view. So once you're standing in the truck here, your eyes are naturally going to go to the first eye level shelf there is, and that's this one right here. So this is the shelf that we're going to use for promotional items, hot sellers, and things that we want to make sure people lay their eyes on. Things are pretty sure are going to move as long as people can see them. The more obscure tools, or the things that we expect people to ask for, we won't use the premium space for. We're going to use this one for things like snazzy power tools, new promotions, anything that's active in the current flyer. We can use this space to display that. Shelves like these bottom ones here, we're going to put things that don't require as much eye contact in order to purchase. Usually things that people ask for, we're going to put down here, so we won't worry about spending our premium space on those items. Stuff that's lighter, smaller, blow molded cases and things like that will go up on this top shelf here. And then people will probably, this is the first time I've been really considering the layout of this truck, because the two other trucks that we own are not set up like this in the back. They're set up identical to each other, but with a different layout. The differences here are, again, when you walk onto the truck, you have this L-shaped service desk. This is where the point of sale terminal is going to go. And I don't expect to get much in the way of, customers coming over this way and looking on these shelves, because then you're standing kind of in the workspace. And I'm guessing, and I don't know this for a fact because I've never operated a truck with this layout, but I'm guessing that's going to be a bit of an impediment, that people aren't going to feel as comfortable coming back here knowing they're standing right in the workspace. So what I would tend to do is keep things on these shelves that I would want access to first. So things that people would ask for that I can easily reach for and grab and get down are the things that I'd keep on these shelves here. But the things I want customers touching and looking at, I'm going to be putting, especially on this shelf, that's the premium shelf. And This shelf is going to be another very good shelf, as well as this one. Both of these are kind of at eye level, depending on how tall you are. And ignore the lighting here. There's some, I got to replace a few of these bulbs. Once this shelf is lit up, it's going to look a lot more welcoming. And then things that aren't, that I don't care so much about getting all that attention, I'm going to be putting up high. So there's also things like, even in the way back of the truck here, people will always work their way down and start looking around, especially if this is the first time they're going to be seeing me in this truck. So they're going to be looking it over. The things I want to keep in mind are the stuff that's going to go up here. I don't expect people are going to ask for a lot unless it's something large, like what I'll keep up here is Gear Wrench has a really popular tool tote bag. It's kind of like a soft-sided toolbox case thing. I'll probably put that up here. I'll probably put things like caps and hats. Maybe some apparel items will go up top here and across on this other similar shelf. And then up here are going to be things probably, I don't know, I got to put gloves somewhere, either this shelf or this shelf for the gloves. I don't know, it really doesn't, I mean, it's kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other. At some point, you just got to put stuff on the shelves, try it out, see what happens. And one thing that works out really, really well in any retail operation is, if you've got display space, mix it up after a while. It's amazing what people will purchase if you move it from one shelf to another shelf, and all of a sudden they see it for the first time again. They'll get used to seeing things in certain places in your store. And because the truck is our store, the same holds true. People are going to come on the truck every week. They're going to see the same stuff in the same places. Every few months, if I take the stuff on this shelf and move it to that shelf, it's going to sell way better than it would if I just left it on this shelf. That's just the way it goes. I picked that tip up very early on. Well, I mean, in fact, I remember as a kid going to the grocery store with my mom, and she'd always complain, they're always changing stuff around in the grocery store. I can't find anything. It always makes you walk through the aisles. That's right, Mom. That's exactly why, because it gets you to look at everything again. A store doesn't want you to walk in, go right to what it is that you know you want to buy, grab it and go. They want you to shop, they want you to browse, they want you to look around. They want the opportunity to get the impulse buy, right? And how do you do that? But you got to make something visible and readily available. And the only way you're going to make it visible is if you kind of force people's eyes onto the products. And the way you do that, mix it up. So change the shelves around every now and again. What's the power tool shelf today is going to be the screwdriver and wrench shelf 3 months from now, or something like that. But mix it all up. And again, if you've got your own tool truck, write in the comments what you've done to keep it interesting and keep it fresh. Because once it gets stale, that's kind of when you see business take a dip. But when when you make it fresh again, it ramps back up. It's no coincidence. All right, so let's do this. Let's at least just start putting stuff someplace. And these socket racks usually live up top somewhere, like up on the top shelf there. So we'll put them up there. All right. First products on the shelf of the new truck. Woo! High five. All right, what else we got? These are kind of heavy and bulky, the tool tray things, but those will go well on a lower shelf like that. So we'll put these guys next to each other because I got 2 of them. And one smart design that Summit Body Works did with this interior is they mounted those fluorescent fixtures along the back wall. And on the other trucks we have, they're designed by the same company, but for some reason they mounted the lights up underneath the shelf here. And that takes a good 3 or 4 inches away from your display space. I don't have to worry about hitting the lights with these boxes. They fit perfect because the lights are behind them. This isn't the most premium thing in the world. Everybody knows that the tool truck is going to have screwdrivers. So I don't necessarily want these to jump out and bite you, but I at least want them readily available so people see them, they'll say, oh, I'll grab that. So I'm going to put that on the shelf below the more premium spaced shelves here. As well as something like the serpentine belt tool set. I'm going to leave that on that same shelf. And I like to try to organize tools by category. So maybe I'll keep, you know, some hand tools here. Maybe I'll put, I don't know, wrenches and stuff over here. Maybe impact sockets will go here. I'll probably wind up putting lighting up here. Lighting is something that everybody gravitates toward, and they want to be able to look over and see what the selection is. So I think I'm going to use either this shelf or this shelf for lights. Oh, look, lights. Let's see where they go best. Now, what I'll do too is I'm going to take some of these out of the package and leave them open so people can see the lights themselves, and they can pick them up and they can turn them on and blind themselves with it, because for some reason the first thing everyone does when they pick up a flashlight is they look at it, then hit the light, blind themselves, and then go, oh, that's really bright. It's hilarious and perfectly predictable. All right, and the headlamp. So those there. Socks are gonna go probably in the farther back. I'll put them there for now. And everything that I'm doing now is subject to change. I'm pretty sure that the way I'm setting this truck up is not the way it's going to be once I get rolling with it. Because the other thing too is I got to keep in mind is my own workflow. I have to know where everything is. I have to be able to get to it pretty quickly. Someone has a question as to whether I have something, I have to be able to find it. And believe it or not, most of the stuff that you have on a tool truck is you're going to know whether or not you have it. Very, very few times you have to look to see if I've got something. It's usually right all up here in my noodle somehow. I don't know how that is, but it's the truth. All right, these guys here, adapter set. These go perfect on these magnet rails. So I don't know which rails we're going to use for what, but these rails, you know what we'll probably do? This is a great way to use these rails here, because this is small enough. You don't generally see people seeing these on the shelf and grabbing them and saying, oh, I need that. Usually people say, hey, do you have these adapters? Or I need a 3/8" reducer, and say, yep, got one right here. It'll be easier, I think, for me to keep that handy so that I can reach it than it would for a customer to reach it. That's just more the way the workflow goes. I like to divide up my display space by function. So I'll do things like lighting in one section, wrenches in another, maybe impact sockets in yet another section. And then diagnostic tools will go in their own section. Right now we don't have much of any one particular category, so it's kind of difficult to put it in an order that makes any kind of sense. I'm just going to stash that there for now, and then promptly proceed to forget that that's where I put it. I know myself well enough. So what we'll do is we'll probably make this like part of this diagnostic stuff, lighting on that end, diagnostics on this end, and maybe some electrical stuff like soldering irons usually go hand in hand with diagnostics because you're working on electrical stuff, if that makes any kind of sense. It's just a natural kind of place to think of one when you're thinking of the other. And the micro butane torches from Power Probe will go next to their solder kit. What else? Little salamander. Come here, little guy. No. Where'd he go? He was just here a second ago. I know I'm gonna mash him by accident now. Here in Texas, we're crazy with geckos and salamanders and stuff. He was just in there. The problem is, I'm sure we're gonna accidentally step on him. I don't want to do that. All right. Hand tools are gonna go here, where I've got 2 of these wrench sets. I'll just stick them next to each other there like that. And I've got some screwdriver sets. We'll put all the screwdriver sets together. Just like that. Boom. We need a place for impact sockets. Let's put them here. And the Sunex set. Get these butane canisters out of the way. This is generally something people ask if I carry. They don't generally see it on the shelf and then grab it. So we're gonna put these up top here. And then what I do with these, I usually cut the box out so you can at least see the cans. Displays it a little nicer. This Power Probe 3EZ is going to go in the diagnostics section with the other Power Probe branded items. Let's see, we got hand tools, sockets, wrenches in here. These socket sets are great to take out of the package and stick them to the mag rails. On these, because I take them out of the package and the package has the barcode and the part number on it, I'm going to discard the package, but I'm going to write on the bottom what the part number is. Otherwise, I'll have no idea. And when I go to ring it up, I won't know what to punch into the computer. So these just go right on the mag rails. Blue rails mean metric, red rails mean standard. I'll sometimes divide these up. I'm going to keep metric on one side of the truck, standard on the other, but where I've got things like 2 shells worth, well, I'll probably do is this actually. Keep metric up top, where it's usually more popular, and then oh, struggle to get the magnets. So I'll keep metrics up there and standards down there. That way they're divided up a little bit. And we can do the same with these socket sets. We can either take these out of the package, or when there's such a nice box, I generally just keep these in the box, but leave them someplace where they're easy to see. Like that for now. Maybe I'll take them out later. Depends on how the space starts filling out. Right away, because I'm running a limited inventory in this truck, I want the visual to be that it's a little fuller than it actually is. So the way you do that is take up the shelf space. So if I can take up shelf space today, I'll opt to do that, and then as I continue to fill the shelves, then I'll probably take those out, clip them to the, or stick them to the rails and work it that way. And I mentioned in one of my previous videos, one thing you want to do is make sure tools are readily accessible. If people can't see it and touch it, then they're not going to be as quick to buy it. So on something like this, open up your wrenches, right? And this way people can see them, take them out and say, oh, these are really nice wrenches. Look, they're full polish. I didn't realize Sunex made such a snazzy wrench. I think I'll buy them, Lindsay. They'll say, how much? And I'll give them some ridiculously low price because Sunex wrenches are priced really well. They say, are you sure? And I'll say, yeah, I'm sure. That's just the way it is. On Coyle Tools, son! And then they'll buy it, and then that's when it's awesome. I bet you didn't even make it far enough into this video to see this spot right now. But if you did, good on you. Most people click off like 10 minutes into a long video. Whatever. We're just having fun at this point. Keep it rolling. All right, what else I got? What's this thing? The 3-piece cat hair covered impact grade universal adapter set. Again, we'll just we'll stick that on the shelf for now. Oh, one of these. Oh, more of these. Okay, another set of quarter drive universals. Keep that there. This quarter stick here is extremely popular. Forgive me while I try to do it with one hand and I'm holding the camera with the other hand. You don't care because no one's watching the video right now. This video is so long. You probably clicked off just before I got done throwing away all the trash. Really, I'm just doing this one for my own benefit. I'm entertaining myself. All right. No, no. For all I know, you're watching this and you're just riveted to your phone screen or however you watch it. And you're like, well, I can't wait to see what he does next. Oh my God, he took out an Easy Red quarter stick. I know. Does it have a locking head? Yes, it does have a locking head. Look at that little lock on it. Hit that little guy. Where does this guy go? This guy goes up on the ceiling. And the way I normally organize the ceilings are, up here is going to be things like chisels, air hammer bits and stuff like that. And then we're going to have ratchets and extensions, pliers, and then things like pry bars and miscellaneous stuff down on the far end. But right now, let's stick this right up here and have it be the first resident of our of the ceiling. Welcome to the ceiling, Easy Red 12-inch quarter stick. One thing I decided to do not too long ago, and it took me entirely too long to figure this one out, is to have a section of all 10mm stuff. It makes it much easier to find what you're looking for, because typically speaking, someone's always going to ask for a 10mm something or other. So I'm going to designate one of the mag rails here, probably on this shelf, as my 10mm section. So 10mm wrenches will go up here. Sockets, both quarter and 3/8 drive, will go here. And there's a variety of 10mm wrenches. These regular gear wrenches, just a flex head. There's a reversible. There's the long handle ones. They'll all go up here, and I'll build this out to be just a 10mm section. I've got some gloves left. I will put gloves up here. That's it. Last 2 boxes of gloves. We have a direct buy relationship with Amex, who manufactures the GloveWorks brand gloves. They're the heavy 7mm kind. The problem we're having right now is getting some, because they're focusing on supplying the medical industry during the pandemic. The problem is that there's plenty of other people in the world who need gloves, and it's difficult to get any. And they've also jacked their prices way up, so I'm not buying from Amex right now. And I don't mind hanging them out to dry, because shame on you, Amex. You are now expecting me to retail a box of 100 gloves for $43, and there's no way I'm going to do that. So I'm not going to buy from Amex. I'll buy from ISN or some other companies that have some occasional supplies, but I can keep the cost down. It's still exorbitant, but at least it's way less than that. Right now, unfortunately, a box of those monster gloves is retailing for 25 bucks. It hurts, but unfortunately is what we have to do, because the prices are just going through the roof right now on these things. All right, what else we got? Lighting, more lighting. Okay, lighting is going to go on a lighting shelf. And the nice thing about these lights, these are the ones from Maxion. They ship these in a retail display case. So all I do is cut along the perforations here, and then I pop the whole thing on the shelf. And these lights are really cool. These are the ones, if they look familiar, it's because you have seen them before on the Snap-on truck a few years ago. For a while, Maxeon was manufacturing this same light and branding it with Snap-on's name. That's called third-party branding. Snap-on was selling the same light on their truck for $89. I have it for less than half that price. I buy direct from Maxeon, so I can save a few bucks that way, and also they don't say Snap-on on them, which the name alone does demand a premium price, even though you can get that same exact light under a different name, the manufacturer's name, for a lot less. I'm reserving this shelf for the power tools. They're going to go all up there. Because this is the shelf where you want the attraction, right? You want people to walk into your truck, see that, go, ooh, what's this? And then grab it. So on some of these, I'm going to open up the boxes, leave a case available, open accessible so people can pick it up. On a power tool, what is everyone going to do? You're going to pull the trigger. You want to hear it. You want to see it. You want to feel it. We make it accessible like that, and people do buy them. I'm also going to use some of the premium space for these 120 XP gear wrench torque wrenches. I have a half drive and a 3/8 drive. I gotta hand it to Gear Wrench. They are packaging these wrenches much nicer than they were before. This is now a much more attractive box. This attracts your eye. You're drawn to it. You want to see what's in it. Their old packaging, they had a plain brown cardboard sleeve over a black blow molded case, and that was it. And it was boring, and nothing compelled you to look at it. These are very attractive, and people are going to be drawn to this. They're going to want to look in there and see what it's all about. So we'll take the sleeve off of one, leave it open so people can see it and touch it and start falling in love with it. We have ratchet kits down here. We got a bunch of these things. More of these than I thought. Okay. More soldering kits. Oh, way more soldering kits. Okay. All right. So I'll throw some soldering kits up there. Some more Sunex wrench sets. What's this one? This is... Why do I have two of these? I think one of these is for my other truck. Yeah, these are identical. I wouldn't generally carry two of the same standard stubby wrench sets on the same truck. I think one of these is intended to go to one of the other trucks, and I just goofed and put them all in the same box. Anyway, we'll leave it here for now because it takes up shelf space, right? This is an incredibly popular two-piece extra long handle ratchet set. It's got the long handle 3/8 and the long handled 1/4 inch. 120 XP gear design on that. And I'm torn because I like breaking this setup and putting it on the ceiling. I also like selling it in the 2-pack. I don't know what we're gonna do yet. We'll put it on the shelf here and leave that there for now. And the same with these ratchet sets here. This is the new 90 tooth ratchet set. I think, and I don't know this for a fact, I think Gear Wrench is doing away with their 84 tooth ratchets in favor of the new 90. I'm not sure about that though. It would make sense to me because I don't know why you'd come out with a 90 and still offer your 84. But they did. I don't know what the roadmap is for the 84 tooth. And then the 2-piece 84 tooth standard length handles on those. We got a couple of wrench sets here that need a home. I'm guessing I'd like to put them up by those wrench sets. Maybe we'll move this stuff around here. And maybe we'll move this stuff, I don't know, here. Now put that there. Maybe put this one next to it. I don't know. Maybe we'll move that from there, but that's where it's going to get out of the way, and then that'll give us room to put these wrench sets here next to the other wrench sets and keep all of our wrenches and screwdrivers in one place. Oh, another Maxion light. This is a good light to keep out of the box. But for right now, we will just put it on the shelf. And then some miscellaneous stuff, another socket set. So we'll do the same thing with this we did for the other ones out of the package. That section, anyway, is starting to look like a tool truck. The rest is still pretty bare. Woo! Power tools. And then these little miscellaneous things, we're just going to staple these to the walls. We will hang those pick sets. We'll just get it all out of the boxes for now. At least start putting it on shelves. Those thermometers hang nicely. Little work knife. And then this bag here has a bunch of stuff that we staple these to the walls. So we'll find a nice place to display all the different sizes of the oil filter wrenches. The rear door is a great place for this. Also, it's great for magnets and inspection mirrors because we'll just staple them all up here, group them up by size. I like to leave this space open because we'll probably be putting a display case there. I don't know yet. I like the display case there for knives. I'm going to remove that old one and put a new one in there when I get a new display case from CRKT. So I don't know yet if it's going to be there or if it's going to be back here. So we're going to leave that spot open while I noodle over that one, make up my mind. And in the meantime, we've got just some various and miscellaneous things that can go wherever we can find a spot. We're going to put mag trays up there. Another good thing is to take the mag trays out of their boxes and stick them up on the empty E-track to display nicer that way. You know, all this stuff is stuff that we're going to hang up at some point. Ratcheting metric stubby wrenches from Gear Wrench. Those can go someplace. These will go where? I'm moving this out of there. I'm going to slide these guys down, slide this down, tuck that, and then that can go there. And then this fella can go someplace else. We're going to put it here for now. Normally I hang that on the wall, or I break that set up and keep the individual pieces available either for sale or warranty swap outs. There's not a whole lot more to do tonight. It's pretty much everything except for the stuff I'm just gonna staple on the walls, but I don't have any of the long staples right now. We'll get some. And when I do, we're gonna use the back wall for the oil filter wrenches. We'll probably use, on the other trucks, we use this space for a lot of stuff, but the sunglass case is here. I don't know if I like this here or not. And we do now have a line on Oakley eyewear, which really excites me. So when we do get some in, I might, I don't know if I'm going to leave this here. I don't like having something at the entryway where people are going to spend time, because then they're blocking the entry. So what I might do is I might move this. What I think I might do is I might take that, well, I'm going to take that down. I might put this display case there and then put the knife display on the back wall. That sounds like a plan in my head, so I don't know how it's going to work out, but one way or the other, we'll do something like that. So, well, I think that this video has been plenty long enough. If you made it this far, I really do appreciate it. I know You probably didn't, but if you're one of the lucky few, good on you and thank you. In the future, we're going to be doing some more videos on how this truck is coming along, and as we continue to stock it up and get it rolling, we'll show you what all the behind the scenes things are like, especially when our new guy Tim comes on board. We're going to get him trained up, maybe do some videos with him, and keep it rolling that way. So thanks so much for watching. And if you want to catch all that stuff, please click down here now to subscribe so that you don't miss any of it. And remember, use a tool. Don't be one.